Welcome back to the show. We're seeing Ethereum continues to go down and the rest of the altcoin markets continue to bleed today. And the question is this an amazing buy the dip opportunity? And I want to talk about that, what support levels I'm seeing right now, why I believe this is a pretty amazing buy the dip opportunity. On a macro level, we are still very bullish, and there is some warning although that I want to talk about as well today. And what are the coins that have strong treasury companies that are backing those altcoins? All that in today's show, so buckle up. We're seeing that Ethereum actually is trading right now at $4,180. We're seeing how it got rejected from the previous all-time high. Now it's clear. If you look at the weekly, we can actually see we're in the middle of potentially printing this bearish engulfing candle. Of course, we have 5 days to go. But if you look at a money line, we can see that if Ethereum closes below $4,212, we're gonna get on a bearish daily levels here. However, we're not finished with the day yet. So this is a support until it is broken. So Ethereum got to $4,140, and it seems like it's being bought up a little bit over here. Time will tell, of course, but I want to show you why I believe those are pretty good levels to buying right now, to buy the dip, and potentially not maybe go all in to buy with all the money you have. But this is a pretty strong level of support, as you can see, a multiple of candles over here that basically signify there is a lot of interest in these areas. First of all is the liquidation levels. You know, the exchanges, they make the most money from liquidations, and they want to go after those points for the longs, for example, where it's the biggest grab for liquidity, for money. For Bitcoin is around 110,800. For Ethereum, it is $4,060. This is where the sweet spot. If they can drive Ethereum price to there, they can grab a lot of this late long, liquidate a lot of people. Now, also Tom Lee, that recently publicly said that they're going to acquire 5% of the total supply of Ethereum, raised $20 billion for that. So you kind of want to listen to his thought about Ethereum. And specifically, he received an email update about Ethereum, expecting this recent consolidation has been more over the next 1-2 days. We are a very good risk reward level at $4,075 to $4,150, which is kind of where we are right now. And thereafter, it should rise to near $5,100 minor new highs. Okay, if you look at Bitcoin, we are still in a higher highs and higher lows scenario. I mean, technically, you can see this is a higher low. Okay, this is a higher high. This is another higher high. This is still a higher low. Unless we break down and close the day below $112,000, we're still in a higher high and higher low uptrend bullish market. So what we want from Bitcoin is to not close the day below $112,000, because that will turn the trend into bearish. Although on the money line, we're already in a bearish territory right now. So you can be careful at this point and check, because we might see some further correction. If failure to hold this level for Ethereum at $4,200, if we close below, we might go all the way to $3,900. This is the next support that I'm seeing. Okay, and we're still gonna be in a macro bullish higher high and higher lows scenario for Ethereum. Okay, but let's see if it's actually going to go that low, or the bulls will step in and they will buy a lot of this Ethereum and altcoins. You can see $6.4 trillion Fidelity publishes Ethereum education series. So when you see those things happening, and when you can learn about Ethereum from a huge bank, $6.4 trillion. Now you talk about, Ethereum can go way higher. We're seeing right now some $200 million of ETF outflows from Ethereum. We're also seeing $120 million yesterday from Bitcoin. So let's see what's going to be on the 19th of August over here. We're seeing that President Trump aims to end the Ukraine-Russia war within a month to save as many lives as possible. So that can be a good catalyst, okay, for the markets. We're seeing SharpLink Gaming just bought 143,593 Ethereum for $667 million. They now hold 740,000 Ethereum, right? Worth $3.2 billion. So they're going all in one of the Ethereum treasury companies alongside Tom Lee that is just acquiring a lot of Ethereum. We're seeing David Bailey from Nakamoto company buying another 5,744 Bitcoin. We're seeing the former White House Crypto Council Director Bohines joins Tether as a strategic advisor right now. So it's a huge win for USDT. We're seeing Brazil to hold the first hearing on a national strategic Bitcoin reserve tomorrow. So the more countries that are going to join the strategic Bitcoin reserve, the better. We're seeing Google increased its stake in Bitcoin miner TeraWulf to 14%, making it the largest shareholder. Gulden is in Bitcoin heavy. We're seeing the records low for Bitcoin on exchanges. On the supply shock, you can see the reserve is very low. So again, what does it mean? There is not much Bitcoin on the exchanges. There is more demand for it, then prices can rise. We're seeing desk cross on Bitcoin dominance, which is of course a good thing for altcoin, as Bitcoin dominance right now is sitting on 59.79%, less than 60%. So you can see it's definitely in the right direction here of moving down and awakening the altcoins in the process. Okay, we are seeing altcoin season is coming, pronounced by Coinbase, the largest custodial for Bitcoin. As September approaches, the transition to a full-scale altcoin season is likely. That's what they just said. Coinbase just said that. That's incredible. We're seeing another whale that opened 25x on Ethereum and 40x on Bitcoin at this entry levels, with liquidation $4,046. So maybe they're gonna try and liquidate this $4,046. Okay, time will tell, but I would not be surprised if Ethereum goes just a little bit lower to around $4,050, $4,060, something like that. It'll be a sweet spot to grab some more Ethereum if you haven't done so yet. Because when you are zooming in on a 15-minute chart, it looks terrible, it looks bad. On a weekly chart, it looks amazing, right? So it's all a matter of perspective. Fun fact, Satoshi Nakamoto registered Bitcoin organization website 17 years ago exactly today. So the rest was history, of course. It became in 2009 the first blog. So it's kind of interesting. And Van Eek says they still believe Bitcoin will rise to $180,000 by the end of the year, which means what? Which means that we're still on target, you know. They have some pretty smart analysts sitting there in the firm, and we can definitely see Bitcoin rise to even $180,000. Okay, so overall, the market is still bullish, right? $22 billion Air Canada pension fund reveals $161 million Bitcoin allocation. The pensions are buying Bitcoin, plain and simple. So let's wait and see how the day is going to end, and whether the bulls will step in to defend the $4,200 level. And with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday, and I'm gonna see you in the next episodes of Today in Crypto Show. Stay blessed.